have gone through this life, pushing through every barrier, finding new ways to do the things that people said you couldn't do. And I hope that you continue to use that sometimes drive me crazy determination and stubbornness that you have to reach every goal that you set for yourself.
That was Adiba Nelson, a single mom who is raising a daughter with cerebral palsy. She has written an incredible memoir. I have it right here, and it's called Ain't That a Mother? And today, we are honored for her to join us in the studio to talk more about her journey. Please welcome Adiba to the show.
Yes. Thanks for being here. We're honored and we're happy you're here, so let's get right to it.
All right.
Please walk myself and our audience through what a typical day looks like for you.
So she's about to start high school, so I start the day with wine.
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding. I don't. I really don't. So we get up for school, brush teeth, eat breakfast, get dressed. She does not like what I pick out for her, so she picks out her own clothes.
Yes, high school is coming.
Yes, yeah. High school is, I feel like it's been high school since kindergarten, maybe. She's off to school, and then I'm home working on a manuscript or sending emails, doing my work, and then she comes home, and it's dinner, bath, bedtime, caregiving. Mom and dad, I do it all.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Speaking of caregiving, this might make me cry because I'm also a caregiver as well. And I just want to say thank you because I recognize you, I acknowledge you, but I can't even imagine being a single mom and doing the work too and being a caregiver. You've been doing it for years. Mm-hmm. If you can, reach out to the audience and let us know what has been your darkest moment for you.
Oh, now you're going to make me cry.
I know. I didn't mean to do a bummer down, but it's important to see that you rose back up.
Yes. So I would say, I'm not gonna cry on TV.
You can if you want to.
Please.
No, I got the good mascara lashes.
I feel you.
When she was about 2, back in 2012, I was really struggling financially, and I felt like I was failing her as a mom. I wasn't able to work a full-time job because being a parent to a child that has disabilities, a lot of your day is spent going back and forth to doctor's appointments, therapy appointments, and then regular parent things. Right. And I just wasn't cutting it financially, and I really felt like I was letting her down, and that she deserved more. She deserved more than what I could give her. And so in Tucson, where we live, there is an emergency children's shelter. And I had done my college internship there, and I knew that you could do a 48-hour placement. And I knew that if you placed for 48 hours and you didn't come back, then they go into the adoption system. And I dialed the number because I just wasn't cutting it. And I was very ready to just try to give her something better, give her a better life with someone who could afford to take care of her and give her the things that she needed and she wanted, where she wouldn't have to struggle.
Wow.
And there's been some very difficult times, but that hands down was the hardest.
That was the rock bottom. How did you climb out of that hole you were in?
So the night that I dialed the number, I was literally on my living room floor just sobbing, crying my eyes out. And I'm not a religious person, but I am a very spiritual person. And usually God talks to me when I'm asleep because I can't answer back and I can't talk back. And he's just like, oh, I got you.
It's a one-way conversation.
Yeah, right.
But this time, this song popped in my head that I didn't hear all the time, but it was a Mary Mary song. And the lyrics were, I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. No one told me the road would be easy. And I don't believe you've brought me this far just to leave me.
Oh.
And I was just like, where did this song come from? And then I cried even harder. And then I hung up the phone. And I was like, all right, well, you said you didn't bring me this far just to leave me, so let's see where we go. The next day, my daughter had a doctor's appointment. And on our way to the doctor's appointment, we passed a place that was for rent. And I was about to lose the place that I was in. And my daughter had just gotten approved for SSI for her disability. So I decided to pop in and see, what does this entail? It was a 1-bedroom apartment, all utilities included, that the rent was just under the amount that we had just gotten approved for.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay. And then a couple of days later, I got a job at a restaurant within walking distance, so I didn't have to spend money on gas.
Wow.
And these little things that God or the universe, Jehovah, whatever, whoever you believe in, higher power, was just like, you said you're going to trust me, so here we go.
Wow.
And from that point on, it's been incremental, up and up and up.
And look at where you are sitting right now.
And I'm here with y'all.
Go ahead. So
Sorry, I broke first.
I was there.
The power, I mean, the power of surrender.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to switch gears for a little bit because I find this really interesting. You decided to become a burlesque dancer, and while you say you did it because you wanted to teach your daughter about what beauty is. So can you explain how those two relate?
Sure. So, you know, being a black woman, you being a black woman, you know the standard of beauty has never necessarily been what we are, how we look. And, oh, that's me.
look at you.
Hi.
I hope my child's not watching but I was on my own self-love journey and learning to accept who I am and how I look and how I walk through this world. And my daughter is in a body that will forever be told is not right, is not perfect, is not beautiful, is not enough. Because she's a black woman, because she has super short natural hair, because she has a disability, one leg is shorter than the other, her left arm doesn't work. And I'm a very firm believer, if you're going to talk the talk, you better walk that walk. And sure, I mean, I could have chosen a million other ways to teach her about self-love and believing that you're beautiful, but I just decided to take my clothes off. Because you're not supposed to look at me and be like, ooh, okay, like she's kind of fine. But then I get on stage and I'm
Kinda.
like, ooh,
Yeah, rough.
she's kind of fine. Kinda? Well, all right. So I
You better own the whole thing, okay? All right,
But
we there.
It's one of those things where it challenges people's perceptions of what beauty
Right.
actually is.
Right.
What do I actually think is beautiful? And I needed my daughter to see that my mom doesn't look like the standard of beauty, but she is owning it and she is killing it. And from the time she was born, I've always just said to her every day, you are gorgeous, you are beautiful, you are smart, you was kind, you was impotent. But I've always just pumped that into her because I know the world will tear her down for a myriad of reasons. And so it starts at home, building her up, building her up. And now it's, Emory, who's the prettiest girl in the room? Me, duh.
You brought some of the problems that are going on with getting dressed in the morning on yourself.
Yeah.
So,
I did it to myself.
Unbelievable.
Thank you for sharing your stories. I mean, like, it's
Adiba.
inspirational. God, I think, gives people what they could handle, and somehow you handled it. So I'm proud of you.
He could take a break.
Yeah, he could. He could. But
He could ease up.
Adiba, thank you so much for joining us today. I know DBL Nation, you're like, where can I get the book? I want to hold it up there. Ain't That a Mother? You got to read it. Also, she's not done. Check out her amazing children's book about kids with disabilities called Meet Clarabelle Blue. Thanks again. I want to hold this up right here. Thanks again,
I wanna
Adiba.
hold the other book
yeah,
up.
hold it up here.
Yes.
We're so amazed by your story.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
inspired.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
So good.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Beautiful story. Beautiful story.